Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, whom I worship. Double honors to my elder apostles, a great millstone, who taught me this word in sincerity and in truth, and who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the whole entire world, who are teaching the gospel of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, like the elder apostles of great millstone and teachers and elders of great millstone are teaching the gospel. Salutations to all you who are teaching it in that manner. All right. And the reason why I say that, because there's only one way. Okay. There's only one way. There's not trillions of ways, to teach the gospel of Yahweh Shai. There's only one way. Okay. And also let us not forget the great cloud of witnesses of Yasharallah throughout the whole entire world, who are listening and watching and helping us out in this ministry the best way they can. May the Lord bless them and theirs, their families at the end and during these last evil days, man. All right, so that the Most High may grant them salvation and deliver them from that great fire to come, which is near to come. All right, deliver them from the mark of the beast, man. All right, and from the beast system. As always, I like to say, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so that the YouTube algorithm could help spread this word, man, so that it could reach to the hopeful elect out there who are watching, who are believing in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and diligently seeking the Lord and calling upon His name. Okay, so that at the end the Lord could have His elect sealed, and that they may be delivered. All right. Hopefully, I am a part of that holy number. So, as always, not as always, but as I've been doing lately, is going through some chapters, whatever chapter the Spirit hit me to go through, and I just I have the audio Bible playing, and as I go, I pause and and break the individual verses down. All right. So Spirit prompted me to start another series, and beginning with Zechariah, the first chapter. All right, beginning at the first verse. And Lord help me, I'll keep on with this until I finish the whole entire book of Zechariah.
In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo the prophet, saying, The Lord hath been sore displeased with your fathers. Therefore say thou unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Turn ye unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I...
Yeah, so you see how that's how they judge the timeline or period in which the prophecy came down from the Lord to a certain prophet. They'll judge it by whichever king was ruling at that time, and in this case, in Zechariah, the first chapter and the first verse, it says, in the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, meaning of King Darius, his rule, in the 8th month, in the 2nd year of his rulership. It says, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah. So that's how they judge the time period. It went by the whoever was ruling in a certain empire at that time. Whichever empire was over, or whoever was ruling at the time over Israel. Okay. In certain accounts of history, it brought out whichever king of Israel was ruling at the time when the word of the Lord came down to a certain prophet, in this case, it says, let's see, in the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah. So I just want to look up real quick in history, which, I guess, which Darius is this, because you see, you had kings that had certain names, but they were like titles, and they will have other names that coincide with the name that the Bible gives. So give me 1 second.
Darius the Great. According to Wikipedia, Zechariah's prophecies took place during the reign of Darius the Great, and were contemporary with Haggai in a post-exilic world after the fall of Jerusalem in 587 6 BC.
Yeah, so this is good to know, because this is history, and history goes right along with the prophecies when they came down from the Lord. Okay, so I'm gonna go into a little bit of the history here, and this is from Wikipedia, right? It says when you go to the historical context, it says Zechariah's prophecies took place during the reign of Darius the Great. Let me just click on this link real quick, see if they show like a bust or sculpture of Darius the Great real quick. Darius the First, also known as Darius the Great, of course, was the ruler of the Old Persian kingdom. Yeah, so it says here Darius the First, Old Persian. They show you the cuneiform writing there. Romanized Darayaba, New Persian. They give you the New Persian writing there. It says Hebrew Dara wa. I guess that's Darayawash. Okay. It says circa 550 486 BCE, before the Common Era, commonly known as Darius the Great, was the third Persian king of kings of the Achaemenid Empire. See, it's good to, if you have time, it's good to, or make time, man. It's good to go through the history, the contemporary history that's with our history, because that's it. The other nations, they have their historical documents, and within their historical documents, they speak about our history, and the wars that they had with us, to show you that yes, the Israelite kingdom was a real kingdom. The Israelite people were real people, okay, and they existed, man. And when you read these contemporary historical documents, man, it just brings out the authenticity of the scriptures, man. So it's good to know the history, and to go through the history to give you a brighter view of what was happening in the ancient world. All right. So it says, commonly known as Darius the Great, was the third Persian king of kings of the Achaemenid Empire, reigning from 522 BCE until his death in 486 BCE. He ruled the empire at its peak when it included much of West Asia, parts of the Caucasus, parts of the Balkans, Thrace, Macedonia, and Paeonia, most of the Black Sea coastal regions, Central Asia, as far as the Indus Valley in the Far East, and portions of North and Northeast Africa, including Egypt, Eastern Libya, and coastal Sudan. So that's a vast empire, man. They ruled over all those lands and kingdoms. So this is a bust of him, okay? And a bust simply means a carving, a mural of him to commemorate him. That's what the nations did. And it says, yeah, the relief stone of Darius the Great in the Behishtan inscription. All right, and once again, it shows you the time period of his reign. They're going by these modern dates, but you can't go by that because the nations, they had a different way of keeping their calendars than how Esau keeps his calendars, man. So yeah, that's all I wanted to bring up. Yeah, if I'm correct, this is the Darius that while the second building of the temple was being constructed, led by Zerubbabel, Joshua the high priest, and many of the different prophets, like Zechariah. You had the different prophets, building together, building the temple. I believe during this time it was when the nations they wanted to build with us, and we were like, nah, you don't got nothing to do with us or with our power. We're gonna build on our own and worship our power here, and they were jealous and envious, and they wanted to stop the building of the second temple. So they went and ratted on us, so to speak. uh you know they went to King Darius and you know forced him to stop us from building the temple for a little while, man. So let me get that account real quick.
King Darius. Here's a summary from ResearchGate. Authorities to halt the construction of the Second Temple. King Darius urged the Jews to begin rebuilding the temple. House of the Lord was laid.
All right, so I looked up Zerubbabel because he was a governor. Okay, he was a governor over the Persian Empire, I believe. He was set up because that's what the kings did. The kings, they reverenced the Lord's men, and some kings feared the Most High. So I believe Zerubbabel was a governor over a certain province within the Persian Empire, man. But let's read on just to be sure. This is why this is good to read the history, so that you don't be just babbling off and not knowing what the hell you're talking about, like I'm doing right now. But anyway, I looked up Zerubbabel, and then it gives you the history, okay, of that certain point in history or incident that occurred. So this is Zerubbabel. It says, according to the biblical narrative, Zerubbabel was a governor of the Achaemenid Empire's province. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, the Achaemenid is another term for Persian Empire's province. It says Yehud Medinata, and the grandson of Jeconiah, penultimate king of Judah. Zerubbabel led the first group of Jews, numbering, and when they say first group of Jews, is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, okay, of the captivity, because remember, prior to that, they were under the captivity of the Babylonian Empire. And it says Zerubbabel led the first group of Jews or Israelites, numbering 42,360, who returned from the Babylonian captivity in the first year of Cyrus the Great, the king of the Achaemenid Empire. It says the date is generally thought to have been between 538 and 520 BC. Zerubbabel also laid the foundation of the second temple. Because Nebuchadnezzar came and destroyed the first temple, the temple that King Solomon had built unto the Lord. Zerubbabel also laid the foundation of the second temple in Jerusalem soon after. Don't mind that picture right there. It's showing. They're showing like one black person in there, and it's a black woman. Everybody else is look like Edomites, man. So that's a false representation of the people back then. They were all black people, so-called black people. It says, but that's Esau lying with his lies again. That great dragon, that red dragon, lying. He was loose, started lying to the people. And that's part of his lies. These paintings, okay. He's everybody. He's everybody in history, man. It says in all of the accounts in the Hebrew Bible that mentions Zerubbabel, he is always associated with the high priest who returned with him, Joshua, son of Josadak, or son of Tazadok. Together, these two men led the first wave of Jewish returnees from exile and began to rebuild the temple Old Testament theologian John Kessler describes the region of Judah as a small province that contained land extending 25 kilometers from Jerusalem and was independently ruled prior to the Persian rule. Zerubbabel was the governor of this province. King Darius I, also known as King Darius the Great of Persia, appointed Zerubbabel governor of the province. You see? It was after this appointment that Zerubbabel began to rebuild the temple. Elias Bickerman speculates that one of the reasons that Zerubbabel was able to rebuild the temple was because of the widespread revolts at the beginning of the reign of Darius I in 522 BC, which preoccupied him to such a degree that Zerubbabel felt he could initiate the rebuilding of the temple without repercussions. Let me see. Yeah, so anyway, when you go back into the scriptures, it tells you that while we were in building the second temple, the other nations around about us, man, our haters came around telling Darius to make a stop. That is written in the book of Ezra. Let me see if I get that excerpt real quick. All right, I'm going to read fast. I'm going to read Ezra's the first chapter, beginning at the first verse. I'm going to read fast, going into the second chapter. I believe within the second chapter, it explains what happened, how they tried to stop the building of the second temple, man. It says, this is the book of Ezra, the first chapter, and the first verse. It says, now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, so this is Cyrus, okay? Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord power of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth. So he gave props to Yahweh, man. They knew these certain kings, they knew of Yahweh and his power, and they knew who his people were. Okay, they feared the Most High, although they still believed in their gods, their fake gods, their false gods. But they knew that the Most High Yahweh was a real living power, man, that they didn't want to mess with. Yeah, and the Lord had also sent prophets to these certain kings to let them know that it was the Most High who set them up, put them there, put them in power, and whenever they went off, it was the Most High sending prophets unto them to let them know when they were gonna, get overthrown, and taken out of power, because it's the Most High who controls, who rules upon this earth and who doesn't. All right, the basis of men. Verse 2, it says, thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord power of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth. And he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Who is there among you of all his people? His power be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of the Lord power of Israel. You see? He is the power. It says he is the power, man. Acknowledging that he's the real power, a real living God, which is in Jerusalem. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the men of his place help him with silver and with gold and with goods and with beasts, beside the freewill offering for the house of the Most High that is in Jerusalem. Then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all them whose spirit the Most High hath raised, to go up to build the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem. And all they that were about them strengthened their hands with vessels of silver, with gold, with goods, and with beasts, and with precious things, beside all that was willingly offered. Also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels of the Lord, of the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had brought forth out of Jerusalem, and had put them in the house of his goods. You see? So he returned all that, because those were the vessels that were sanctified unto the Lord by King Solomon, man, that he had ordained. It says now, back to Jerusalem. All right. So I believe, chapter 3 goes into what occurred with the nations, the haters that tried to stop, or not tried to stop. They actually stopped our hands from building for a little while. Okay, so actually it's the fourth chapter. So I'm gonna read quick. This is Ezra, the fourth chapter, in the first verse. It says, "Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord power of Israel, then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, Let us build with you, for we seek your power as ye do. And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Asarhaddon, king of Ashur, which brought us up hither." Right, because after that was the Assyrian captivity, when they had taken over the northern kingdom, the kingdom of Ephraim, along with the other tribes, the 10 tribes. After they put them in captivity, they put these heathens to take Samaria over, or the northern kingdom over, and they so-called started kind of took on the religion of of our nationality, so to speak, and started worshiping the Most High. Because at one point it was lions that was tearing their asses up. They had to. It was there had to be a Levitical priest, a Levite, that had to go there and tell them how to keep the laws and stuff, so that they could keep these beasts from killing them. So they had to convert to our ways, but they were still worshiping their fake ass gods, man. So these nations, they were trying to come back, trying to say, this is similar to the St. John, the fourth chapter, with the woman at the well. Okay, just to give you some clarity. And these were heathens, and they were trying to say that they worshiped the Most High, and that as if the Most High was with them. But the Most High is not with the heathen. All right, He's only with His people, and that is mentioned all throughout the Bible. That's why these Christians don't know what the hell they're talking about. This is the reason why history is important. Read the history, man. Third verse. "But Zerubbabel and Joshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord power of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, hath commanded us. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people, being demons." And this is reminiscent of what Vocab and his crew and these demons that be on the comment board that come after us, man. This is similar to what they're doing. Here it is. We're building the actually we are building the third temple of the Lord, but it's a spiritual temple. Okay, it's not made with how would you say it? It's not made with physical stones and brick and mortar and all that stuff. Okay, with man's hands. This is a spiritual matter. The gathering of the stone. The stones represent the elect of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, man. All right, and the teaching and all that coincides with the building, and we make up, the elect of the Lord make up the new temple. All right, the rebuilding of the temple of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, man. As it is written, the Lord dwells not in temples made with hands. Right. Right, verse 4 says, "Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia." So they were just being demons. They were trying their best to stop the building, man. And hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. You see, Darius the Great, the one that I just spoke of a little while ago, right? And in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, wrote they unto him an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem. And in the days of Artaxerxes wrote Bishlam, Mithredath, Tabeel, and the rest of their companions unto Artaxerxes, king of Persia. And this is the king that you see in that movie 300. That Persian king. This is him. Artaxerxes, king of Persia, and the one who went against the Spartans, right? And they met at that one battle, the battle at the Hot Gates. Okay, I think it was called what's it called? The Battle of the. Give me 1 second.
Battles frequently mentioned on the web include the Battle of Thermopylae, the Battle of Marathon, and the Battle of Plataea.
Okay, so it was the Battle of Thermopylae, which I was about to say that, but I wasn't quite sure, so that's why I cross-referenced it. So the word Thermopylae, thermal means hot, and pele or pele means gates, the hot gates, because it was like the way it was positioned, it was like a very narrow place, I believe, and it was hard for the Persians to take control over that battle, because each Persian they went through, the Spartans, which were Israelites, by the way, they were destroying them. Okay, go see that movie, that timepiece movie, period piece, the 300, man. All right, because it was a good movie. So the 7th verse, it says, and in the days of Artaxerxes wrote Bishlam, Mithredath, Tabeel, and the rest of their companions unto Artaxerxes, king of Persia, and the writing of the letter was written in the Syrian tongue and interpreted in the Syrian tongue. Rehum the chancellor and Shimshai the scribe wrote a letter against Jerusalem to Artaxerxes. To Artaxerxes the king in this sort. Verse 9, then wrote Rehum the chancellor, and Shimshai the scribe, and the rest of their companions, the Dinaites and Apharsathites, and the Tarpelites, and the Apharsites, the Archavites, the Babylonians, the Susankites, the Dahavites, and the Elamites. See, these are all of our enemies, man. And these people are alive to this day. They're calling themselves different names, but they're alive to this day, man. And guess what? They still hate our people, man. Okay, verse 10, it says, and the rest of the nations whom the great and noble Asnapar, or like Apostle Gabar like to say, ass snapper, brought over and set in the cities of Samaria and the rest that are on this side the river, and at such a time. This is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Artaxerxes the king. Thy servants, the men on this side the river, and at such a time. Be it known, so they ratting on us right now at this particular point. It says, be it known unto the king that the Jews, meaning Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and some of the Israelites that were scattered amongst them, of the other tribes, that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and the bad city. Yeah, rebellious and bad to them, because we are the kings of this earth, man. And whenever we were in control, especially during the time of King David and King Solomon, we had all these nations in subjection unto us and paying us tribute, man. And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. Building the rebellious and bad city, and have set up the walls thereof. Showing you that this is talking about Israel, man. Okay, and set up the walls thereof to keep and join the foundations, right, to keep the heathen away. All right. And it says, be it known now unto the king, that if this city be builded and the wall set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and so thou shalt endamage the revenue of the kings. Right. And this is how Israel is, man. Israel don't want to pay no taxes to these damn heathens, man. But that's how it's gonna be. Whoever this is how you know who's in control. All right. If your people are paying taxes towards a certain government, that means that your people are slaves, and we are slaves and tributaries right now unto the Edomites, unto this Edomite kingdom. Now in the kingdom, they're gonna be paying us tribute. All right, unto our Lord Yahweh Shai, and unto our King, King David, and unto our people, and to us. All right. And they're going to be bringing their riches in. The scripture says that the gates shall be open continually so that the nations could come in and bring all their riches unto us, man. And themselves and their bodies, themselves unto us, man. Their children, their daughters, their mothers, their fathers, their uncles, whatever, unto us. Verse 14. Now because we have maintenance from the king's palace, and it was not meet for us to see the king's dishonor, therefore have we sent and certified the king, that search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers, so shalt thou find in the book of the records. And now that this city is a rebellion, let me see, and know that this city is a rebellious city and hurtful unto kings and provinces, that they have moved sedition within the same of old time, for which cause was this city destroyed. We certify the king that if this city be builded again, and the walls thereof set up, by this means thou shalt have no portion on this side the river. Then sent the king an answer unto Rehum the chancellor, and to Shimshai the scribe, and to the rest of their companions that dwell in Samaria, and unto the rest beyond the river, peace. And at such a time the letter which ye sent unto us hath been plainly read before me. And I commanded, and search hath been made, and it is found that this city of old time hath made insurrection against kings, and they still have these records, man. And that's exactly what they're saying about us right now, being that we're out there coming back to the realization that we are the Israelites, right? Coming back to our Father, to Yahweh, to our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, and we're out there on the streets and the highways and byways teaching, and they're scared, man. They're like, and they're doing the same thing they did back here. They're going to their nobles and they're saying, these people, they're coming back again. This rebellious city, this rebellious kingdom. What are we gonna do about them? We must stop them. We gotta destroy them. And that's why they were coming out with this whole COVID situation, saying that the main people that are the most vulnerable to catching this COVID-19 pandemic or disease. This disease were the so-called black people, North American, Indian people, and Latino people. And right there, to let you know that they're using that as a vice to destroy our people, because we are the Israelites, man. But they're not going to be able to destroy us because we are the apple of the Lord's eye. We are the Lord's chosen people. So He's not going to let that go down like that. Okay, and in fact, it's gonna be reversed unto them. All right, just like how it happened to Haman. All right, during the time of Esther, Haman and his, I believe, 7 sons. They were Edomites. They wanted every Israelite to be hung, man. And then at the end, what happened was the Lord flipped it and had them hung. And we're about to come into Purim pretty soon, and we're living in that time. I believe Purim is in a couple of weeks in January, I believe, and that's so-called the new year, so-called New Year 2021, and it's gonna come in with a bang. It's gonna be bigger, greater than how 2020 came in. All right, because it's going to be many prophecies coming to pass, man. More and more each day. Verse 19, and I commanded, and search hath been made, and it is found that this city of old time hath made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein. There have been mighty kings also over Jerusalem, which have ruled over all countries beyond the river, and toll, tribute, and custom was paid unto them. See? So that means if toll, tribute, and custom was paid unto us, that means we had these nations, all these nations, in slavery. Okay? Give ye now commandment to cause these men to cease, and that this city be not builded until another commandment shall be given from me. Take heed now that ye fail not to do this. Why should damage grow to the hurt of the kings? Verse 23. Now when the copy of King Artaxerxes' letter was read before Rehum and Shimshai the scribe and their companions, they went up in haste to Jerusalem unto the Jews, and made them to cease by force and power. Then ceased the work of the house of the Most High, which is at Jerusalem. So it ceased unto the 2nd year of the reign of Darius, king of Persia. So I'm sorry. So it was during Artaxerxes' reign that they caused the building of the temple to stop. And then when Darius the Great came in, it resumed again. And like I was saying, that these are the prophets that were there in building. They were contemporary. And these are the prophets that were there at that time with Zerubbabel and Joshua the high priest. They were building together. So they were building all together. So let me just read this. Ezra, the 5th chapter, in the 1st verse. It says, Then the prophets, Haggai the prophet, and Zechariah, which I'm reading now, the son of Edo, prophesied unto the Jews that were in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of the Most High Yahweh of power of Israel, even unto them. Then rose up Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, and Joshua the son of Josadak or Tazadok, and began to build the house of the Most High, which is at Jerusalem, and with them were the prophets of the Most High helping them. See? Because they were prophets themselves. Zerubbabel was a man of the Lord, a prophet. Joshua the high priest also. These were all men of the Lord building. And that's what we're doing now. And the prophets are back again, building the temple together once again. These same prophets. Then rose up, verse 3. And at the same time came to them Tatnai, governor on this side the river, and Shethar-Boznai, and their companions, and said thus unto them, Who hath commanded you to build this house and to make up this wall? They had balls on them, man. That's why in the kingdom, these same people, these same jokers right here, these lowlives, they're gonna pay. They're gonna have their heads bowed down always, man, and chains about their necks, and they're gonna pay us tribute. Verse 4, it says, Then said we unto them after this manner, What are the names of the men that make this building? But the eye of their power was upon the elders of the Jews, that they could not cause them to cease, till the matter came to Darius, and then they returned answer by letter concerning this matter. The copy of the letter that Tatnai, governor on this side the river, and Shethar-Boznai, and his companions and Apharsachites, which were on this side the river, sent unto Darius the king. They sent a letter unto him, wherein was written thus, Unto Darius the king, all peace, be it known unto the king, that we went into the province of Judah, to the house of the great power, which is builded with great stones, and timber is laid in the walls. And this work goeth fast on, and prospereth in their hands. Then asked we those elders, and said unto them thus, Who commanded you to build this house and to make up these walls? We asked their names also to certify thee, that we might write the names of the men that were the chief of them. And thus they returned us answers, saying, We are the servants of the Most High power of heaven, and earth. That's right, man. In other words, man, we don't gotta tell you shit. We are the servants of the Lord power, man, Yahweh. And you can't do nothing, right? And it says, and build the house that was builded these many years ago, which a great king of Israel builded and set up, which was King Solomon. But after that our fathers had provoked the Most High power of heaven unto wrath, he gave them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, the Chaldean, who destroyed this house and carried the people away into Babylon. But in the first year of Cyrus, the king of Babylon, the same king Cyrus made a decree to build this house of the Most High. And this is all history, man. And the vessels also of gold and silver of the house of the Most High, which Nebuchadnezzar took out of the temple that was in Jerusalem, and brought them into the temple of Babylon. Those did Cyrus the king take out of the temple of Babylon, and they were delivered unto one whose name was Sheshbazzar, whom he had made governor, and said unto him, take these vessels, go carry them into the temple that is in Jerusalem, and let the house of the Most High be builded in his place. Then came the same Sheshbazzar, and laid the foundation of the house of the Most High, which is in Jerusalem. And since that time, even until now, it hath been in building, and yet it is not finished. Now therefore, if it seem good to the king, let there be search made in the king's treasure house, which is there at Babylon, whether it be so, that a decree was made of Cyrus the king to build this house of the Most High at Jerusalem, and let the king send his pleasure to us concerning this matter. So chapter 6, right, verse 1. Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rose, right? They had records, the house of the rose, man, a library, where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Achmetha in the palace that is in the province of the Medes a roll, and therein was a record thus written. In the first year of Cyrus the king, the same Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of the Most High at Jerusalem. Let the house be builded, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations thereof be strongly laid. The height thereof 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 60 cubits, with 3 rows of great stones and a row of new timber. And let the expenses be given out of the king's house. And also let the golden and silver vessels of the house of the Most High, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple, which is at Jerusalem, and brought unto Babylon, be restored, and brought again unto the temple which is at Jerusalem, every one to his place, and placed them in the house of the Most High. Now therefore, Tatnai, governor beyond the river, Shethar-Boznai, and your companions, the Apharsachites, which are beyond the river, be ye far from thence. Let the work of this house of the Most High alone, let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build this house of the Most High in his place. Moreover, I make a decree that ye shall do to the elders of these Jews. So he was saying, look, y'all better leave them alone, man, because the decree was made. It was from the Most High that set up Cyrus to have them do that. So he was like, look, leave them alone, and let them build this house into their power, and let them worship their power, man. Moreover, I make a decree that ye shall do to the elders of these Jews for the building of this house of the Most High, that of the king's goods, even of the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered. Right. So these heathens couldn't do anything, man, because it was set up by the Most High. Verse 9, and that which they have need of, both young bullocks and rams and lambs, for the burnt offerings of the Most High power of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests which are at Jerusalem, let it be given them by day without fail, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the Most High power of heaven, and pray for the life of the king and of his sons. Right. So the Most High has set this up, right? So it says, verse 10 again. It says, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the Most High power of heaven, and pray for the life of the king and of his sons. Also, I have made a decree that whosoever shall alter this word, let timber be pulled down from his house, and being set up, let him be hanged thereon, and let his house be made a dunghill for this. And the Most High Yahweh, power, that hath caused his name to dwell there, destroy all kings and people that shall put to their hand to alter and to destroy this house of the Most High, which is at Jerusalem. I, Darius, have made a decree. Let it be done with speed. Then Tetni, governor on this side of the river, Shethar-Boznai, and their companions, according to that which Darius the king had sent, so they did speedily. And the elders of the Jews builded, and they prospered through the prophesying of Haggai the prophet, and Zechariah, which we are currently reading, the son of Edo, and they builded and finished it according to the commandment of the power of Israel, and according to the commandment of Cyrus and Darius and Artaxerxes king of Persia. And this house was finished on the third day of the month Adar, which was in the sixth year of the reign of Darius the king, and that's Darius the first, also known as Darius the Great. And the children of Israel, the priests and the Levites and the rest of the children of the captivity, kept the dedication of this house of the Most High with joy, and offered at the dedication of this house of the Most High 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and for a sin offering for all Israel, 12 he goats according to the number of the 12 tribes of Israel. And you know what? And at this time, the other tribes were already taken into captivity under the Assyrians and already had come over to this side of the world, man. And they set the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their courses for the service of the Most High, which is at Jerusalem, as it is written in the book of Moses. And the children of the captivity kept the Passover upon the 14th day of the first month. So see, they came back and they reinstated, the high holy days, all right, and the keeping of the services, man, of the Sabbath and all that. For the priests and the Levites were purified together, all of them were pure, and killed the Passover for all the children of the captivity, and for their brethren the priests, and for themselves, and the children of Israel which were come again out of captivity, and all such as had separated themselves unto them from the filthiness of the heathen of the land, to seek the Lord power of Israel, did eat, and kept the feast of unleavened bread 7 days with joy, for the Lord had made them joyful, and turned the heart of the king of Assyria unto them, to strengthen their hands in the work of the house of the Most High, the power of Israel, Yahweh. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it there. This is part 1 of this series, Zechariah, the first chapter. I know pretty much we read the majority of Ezra, but I had to go there to bring out the history, of what had transpired during this time. All right, so I'm gonna leave off there. Just stay tuned for part 2. Shalom.